My last point is not so much about us individually. It's a little bit more of a meta one. And the question is, can you be the 100th monkey? And there's a story I'd like to share with you, and it's a true story. There's an island in Japan called Koshima, and it's inhabited with monkeys, and there are multiple islands around the area that are inhabited with monkeys as well. And in 1952, some scientists were running an experiment, and they would drop in sweet potatoes onto the island of Koshima. And the monkeys loved these sweet potatoes. There wasn't anything on the island that tasted like them. They were very sweet, but they dropped them in the sand. And so they had a bitter texture to them. And eventually one day, one of the monkeys, she was very smart, and she walked over to the ocean, and she bathed her sweet potato in the water and realized it didn't have a bitter taste at all afterwards. And slowly but surely, some of the monkeys started following suit, copying her behavior. And it was about 6 years in, it was 1958, and about half the monkeys on this island were following suit, and they'd go take these sweet potatoes and wash them, and then they'd eat them. But it seemed like the older monkeys were more set in their ways. They didn't really want to change what they were doing. They kind of kept to the way they were. And then inexplicably and suddenly, and we don't know exactly the number of monkeys, but for the purpose of the story, let's say it was the 100th monkey that then followed suit and washed a potato for the first time. Completely inexplicably, after that 100th monkey started washing the sweet potato the same way as everyone else, almost instantly, every single other monkey on the island followed suit. And every monkey on the island started washing their sweet potatoes before they ate them. And what was it? What was it about that tipping point, that 100th monkey, that then caused all the other monkeys to follow suit? But that's not the really interesting thing. The really crazy thing was that on an island a couple miles away, separated by water, with no communication between that island and Koshima, almost instantly and simultaneously, all of the monkeys on that island started washing their sweet potatoes in the water. And there's something that happens when a behavior, when an idea, when a movement becomes prevalent enough that it becomes part of our collective consciousness, the part of the way that we all do things. For the last 50 to 100 years, there hasn't been any desire for democracy or representative government in the Middle East, and now all of a sudden in a period of a year where countries that don't talk to each other or really have any big trade relations, they're all simultaneously wanting to have representative governments in the Middle East. And part of breaking out of the pact is not just our own ability to manifest the things that we want, but hopefully all of us in our lives will focus on how do we make this institution, how do we make this country, how do we make this world a better place. And we'll have to not only move ourselves, but we'll have to move the pack. And that's not an easy thing to do. But I would encourage each of you to think about is that any of us could be that 100th monkey. That person that by doing that deed, thinking that way, representing ourselves in a certain light, moves everybody else, creates a collective consciousness, and not only affects our own life and our own entrepreneurial journey, but has the ability to affect thousands or millions of people around us. And that's in part my goal. That's what I want to do in my life. And that's why I'm here today. And I don't think there's anything that I've said that you haven't heard before. And I don't think there's anything that I told you that you didn't know. I'm just hoping that I might be the 100th monkey and help some of you fulfill your entrepreneurial journey. So thanks for having me today.